man. You know what I want? I'm trying to get some of that frozen, some of that freeze. I'm talking about that vanilla. I'm talking about that chocolate, man. Let me get that ice cream, baby. Let's go. You feed me ice cream every day. 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 You feed me ice cream every day.
And welcome into the 2020 Ice Cream Challenge. Yes, it is the Overweight 8, and it's been a terrific competition up until this point. It will only get better now. This 2020 Ice Cream Challenge, it is a 32 competitor competition, March Madness style bracket where competitors will compete 1v1 to see who can eat a pint of ice cream quicker than the other. I'm Max Kelton here alongside Matt Lewis. And Matt, we've gone through a couple rounds so far. Quickest time to beat, 18 seconds. Unbelievable. Ken Rodriguez set that time.
Yeah, it was a truly incredible time. I expect nothing less than that from him, and I can't wait to see what he can do this round. Moving forward, it's gonna be one heck of a day of competition. We got 4 matches for you today, and they are going to be spectacular.
I mean, these matches they're the best matches that we've seen so far in this competition, and it's all going to culminate with that final match of the day, Matt Lewis versus Jacob Gray. And Matt, although you set our tournament record during the first round, do you think that you might be up against too much today in your childhood friend?
Well, I'll tell you what, Jacob's one hell of a competitor. He's one heck of an ice cream eater too. And he came in last week and had a time of 28 seconds. It's going to be tough to beat. I don't know if he can improve upon that time. I can definitely improve upon my time. And all I can do is go out there and give my best and know that really one thing that matters is the fact that this is for charity. This is a fundraising event. And I've been happy to be a part of it and happy to help organize it.
Now, it's also Jacob's 30th birthday. It was this Wednesday, so might be a happy birthday present for him to take that win. Now, let's take a look over at the favorites to advance here. And I'm going to look over at this first matchup now. Trevor Alamode Smith, he kind of came out of nowhere, really an underdog in this competition, or so we thought. 20% of brackets predicted him to advance into the Overweight 8. However, only 9% predict him to move into that the part of the Fudge Core 4. So right here, he's such a great competitor. Can he pull off the win against Lucas Vanilla Thriller Baker?
I think he can. Lucas has been improving each week, but I do think before we get into each match, Max, let's go ahead and talk about some of the rule changes. Sorry to cut you off there. We heard the people speak. There were some questions about the consistency of each ice cream, and so what we have done is we've done away with a blanket thawing period, and what we're doing now is going to implement what we call the Dairy Queen Blizzard test. So as each competitor comes on screen, what they're going to have to do is turn their ice cream upside down for 2 to 3 seconds, and nothing should fall out. You can thaw your ice cream for as long as you want, as long as you can pass that test. So we're hoping that this will add to some consistency and some standardization of the ice cream temperature and density. Also, we will be enforcing spillage penalties. If we find that there was significant spillage by the winning eater, we will give a 5-second time to the other competitor to try and finish their ice cream. If they can finish their ice cream within that 5-second extended period, they will be deemed the winner. And the last rule change that we had was that we are going to be going away from any 14-ounce pints. We're going to be going with the standard 16-ounce pint moving forward with every competition.
So there you have it. Those are the updated rules here. Now, all of the donations here will go to COVID relief, and everything donated you can find in Venmo to @Dragon Daddy. That is correct, Matt?
Yeah, that is correct. At Dragon Daddy, the reason why we're doing a Venmo like this, we do have a corporate sponsor, which I can then go ahead and make a donation through, and they will be matching, but it has to come from me. So that's why we are setting it up to where I receive the Venmo. I will, at the end of the competition, I will then go ahead and make the donation through my corporate sponsor, and we'll go ahead and be able to get that matched.
Beautiful.
And yeah, and right now we are at 7,500. We're looking to get to 8,500 by the end of this competition. So please, help us out and donate, and that'd be great.
So we have this graphic here up on the screen for you. You can Venmo at Dragon Daddy, or you can PayPal Dragon Daddy as well. So far, we are at $7,500, looking to hit $8,500 by the end of today's broadcast. Now, the history of ice cream eating, let's talk about that a little bit. So far, it was Miko Soma who she won that ice cream eating record, 16.5 pints, 6 minutes. So far, that's an average. Well, that was an average of 21 seconds. We have an 18-second competitor in this competition so far. Ken Rodriguez has improved on that average. So pretty impressive performance from him. Is there any way that he can be beat throughout this competition?
I just don't know. I think he's a driven young man, and someone that's going to take this and run with it and, go all the way, spoon to carton, baby.
Certainly seems like it. So it looks like it's time to show you what we have done throughout this competition so far.
Oh my God! What a time! Oh, I'm coming. I'm speechless. Go, 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 go. Before Gianna, you get down to the wire. Who will take it? K-Ron, 18 seconds. Oh my goodness. Matty Lewis actually predicted this match to be the upset. But Tyler Berger trying to pick up some ground. Buzzman almost done with it here. He might get 28 seconds. Final scoops, and that is it.
It looks like Mike's getting a little bit of a brain freeze here and there. He's taking smaller bites. He has a lot on his food, but only small little bites.
Showman looks like he might be almost finishing up this ice cream, really pushing through the pain. Showman almost has it done. That's Brown.
Haven't got time.
There's
123. We're about 40 seconds in.
Are they going to keep it?
Done.
Lucas Baker.
Lucas Baker
takes the win. Pace a little bit, but Trevor doing a real great job. And it looks like Trevor has it. 24 seconds. Oh, baby, is that enough?
Wow.
Looks like you guys are taking your shots here. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, we got Gotti on the screen. That is right, Caleb Gottschalk.
I heard Matt put this whole thing together. I'm sure he rigged it some way to make him the best.
Grant Nelson doing all he can. Who is going to take it here? And there's Grant Nelson, 42 seconds. He'll take the dub. He'll take the win. We'll move on to the Overweight 8. Gotti, this was a pretty surprising one.
Not at all. I knew it was coming the whole way. I had about $100 on Grant, so thinking Grant.
Here is the man, the myth, the legend himself. Yes, Connor Lewis. It's Matt Lewis facing off against Connor Lewis. I'll tell you, I have no idea myself. 35 seconds is the winner. He beats his previous time. And I'm going to put on his word right now that we have reached our goal at $7,500 for this broadcast. So our goal has been achieved for this broadcast. We're grateful to have you on. Any last words?
May the winds be always at your back. I love you guys. Thanks for having me on. This was a good time. And again, shout out to my sponsor, Coors Light, Bass Pro Shops. I mean, couldn't have done it without him. So thanks a lot, Max.
That was a lot of fun to watch back. Now, it's been a terrific competition so far, and we've been blessed to see some terrific times and some terrific competitions. Now, this is a battle between friends that have grown up together. This is a battle between just terrific friends now throughout this quarantine. So people that are coming together and eating a ton of ice cream. And that's what's been so great about this. But let's take a look at what these bracket times have actually been so far.
I think we're going to go ahead and skip the bracket times. We're almost up to the time for our first competition to get going underway. So let's go ahead and talk about that first matchup. We got Trevor Alamode Smith versus Lucas the Vanilla Thriller Baker. And so we're going to go ahead and bring these competitors in, and we can talk about this match coming up here.
So here is Lucas Baker coming in with, Lucas, you got the jersey on once again. This Niner jersey is rocking and rolling. It got you the win last week. This week, a tougher competitor. You're going against Trevor. Trevor's been an underdog in this competition. What's it going to take him down today? He has a time of maybe 16 seconds on you.
You're right about the jersey. It worked for me last week, so, don't fix what's not broken. Trevor looked at the time, watched the film. He's going to be a tough competitor, and just got to get my face as close as I can to the ice cream. Scoop it down.
Lucas, can we see your Dairy Queen Blizzard test?
Yes. Going with the Halo top.
The moment of truth.
Boom, and we are good. Trevor, welcome in. How are you doing today, bud?
Lovely. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. It's another beautiful Saturday. Saturdays are for the ice cream, and I can't wait to see this competition. How are you feeling about your competition here with Lucas today?
A little nervous. We're upping the size of the ice cream. I think mine was a little melted last time. So though I had a better time, I don't think it means anything going in today.
Okay. And can we see your DQ Blizzard test?
Yep. There we go.
All right. We got 2 qualified ice creams. We got density levels that are proper. Gentlemen, let's go ahead and get moving forward here. All right. On 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, eat.
And they're off. So here is Trevor looking to scoop down this ice cream. He's 4 or 5 seconds in now to this cream clock. We're taking a look over at Lucas on the left-hand side here. Not quite sure if he's going to be able to keep up at this pace. Trevor, quick into it. Now his last time in the last round, 24 seconds. That's a big gulp right there. He's coming up on his last time. Couple of scoops and he's almost down to it. Cream clock has passed that 26-second mark. Trevor is almost done. Lucas close behind. This is going to come down close. Trevor,
we're good.
He has it. 34 seconds. Trevor will take the win. And Lucas Baker, he's had a great run, but can't compete with Trevor today. Trevor Alamode Smith, only 8% of brackets expected him to move on, but he will prove the haters wrong. The Fudge Court 4 has its first member.
I have to say, go Hawks.
Oh, a little shout out there. What do you have to say about that, Lucas? How was your ice cream, and where did you fall short?
It was a little messy this time around. I didn't get the big spoonfuls I was looking for, but Trevor, great competition. You killed it, and good luck moving forward.
You too. Thank you.
Trevor, what do you have to say about your performance here today? And how are you going to be able to beat this time when you make it to the Fudge Core 4?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little nervous about the doubling the neck sizes, so we'll see. Quick shout out to all the mothers out there, though. Happy Mother's Day. A little early in advance there. I got my grandma and mom watching, so love you both, and happy Mother's Day.
Excellent shout out, Trevor, and thank you so much for joining us today, and best of luck in the competition moving forward.
Thank you.
Terrific match number 1 here. And a great way to start things out. Now, I don't know how many people expected at the start of this competition, Trevor Smith to be such a competitor, but he's really making a run to that championship, Matt.
I'll tell you what, the ice cream looked like a much better consistency. He took down a full pint. He got 34.5 seconds, I think it was. It's a pretty incredible performance by him. To be honest, with the new rules in place and the couple more ounces in the carton, I was expecting more of a 45, 50-second time, and he really came out there and surprised me.
Yeah, that was surprising to me as well. He is continuing to surprise people through and through, and I don't know if we can quite call him an underdog anymore. He might be the lead dog heading into that Fudge Core 4.
Yeah, I'll definitely tell you what, Max. Sorry to jump in there. When you prove it time and time again, you can't be the underdog anymore. And I think there's enough data there to really, have him represented as one of the lead dogs out there. So he may not be the alpha male, but I mean, he's knocking on the door. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, so far that's one match out of 4 today. We're looking ahead to the second matchup today. Now, this is going to be against Grant and K-Rod. These are two of the best competitors in this matchup. Now,
Hold on there, right there, Max. So we did actually have to do a quick scheduling change. This was impromptu. So we are going to be bumping up a match here. So it's going to be Tim Busman versus Mike Wagner. The reason being, Ken was out helping adopt a dog, and it was taking a little longer than necessary, or not necessary than expected. Excuse me. And so we wanted to make sure to give him time to get back, and make sure his puppy's in a good spot. So, shout out to all the dog owners out there. I'm sure they can understand, and we're being flexible on that account. So we will be having Tim the Busman against Mike the Wagner up next.
Alrighty, so let's get ready to bring those guys in now. Tim the Busman, he's been terrific throughout this competition so far. Last weekend, he was eating out of a trophy. 38% of brackets expected Tim Busman to move on to this round, and 31% of brackets expected Mike the Wagon Wagner to also move on to this round. This is a great competition today. Mike Wagner had a slower time than expected in that last competition, but got the win anyway. And now, against Tim Busman, Mike, how are we doing today? What's it going to take to beat a competitor of this sort?
Hey, Max, how's it going? You know what? Tim's a beast. We all saw what he did last week. I'm expecting the same from him today. I was the underdog last week. Vegas has me as a big underdog today. So, you know what? I'm going to try to bust some brackets today.
We got the bracket buster.
Tim, you're the favorite heading in. You got 36% of brackets expecting you to move on to the Fudge Core 4. Are you coming in overconfident, however?
I wouldn't say that, Max. I think anything can happen, as we've seen in the last few weeks. Mike's a great competitor. As you saw in that last match, Trevor Smith, who came into this tournament, a pretty big underdog, has been winning over and over again. So anything can happen.
Anything can happen today. Now, what kind of ice cream are we eating for you guys?
Got the Ben and Jerry's vanilla, 16 ounces per the rules.
All right.
16 ounce, 3 twins. Went with this in the first round, so bringing this baby back.
So we're going to ask you guys to take your lids off, and we're going to check whether this ice cream is falling out. We're going to have you turn over the ice cream.
Okay, it looks like Mike Wagner is good to go.
Maybe a little
Tim
bit too frozen.
Tim Busman is good to go.
Mine's really frozen.
I don't know if I thawed mine enough, but we'll see. Ready to roll.
So, guys, I have a question. Either one of you can take it. Given the new rules, it's going to be a little bit of a thicker ice cream. How is this going to change your strategy? Are you going to deviate from any of your strategies before? Are you implementing any new techniques? What's your strategy going into this match?
Just going to get after it, man. Just going to go for the bottom. That's my motto.
What kind of utensil are you using? We did see Stuart Giada go with a fork. He has been the only fork competitor. Are you guys both using spoons today?
Just regular spoon, man.
Okay.
The regular spoon.
Okay, well, I think we're getting ready for it. Ready for the cream clock is on, and we're going to be going here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off. So it looks like Mike is taking a big heaping to start out. He wants to keep a steady pace, but Tim is really struggling to dig into this ice cream. Maybe he didn't get it to thaw as much as he would like. That's exactly what's happening right here. He's really struggling.
Yeah, he's working through a brain freeze right now. It's a little bit of a slow. Mike Wagner is going with the backhanded technique. It's something we have not seen this whole tournament. And I'll tell you what, it is really working for him. He's really getting in there, using the leverage of the tricep and doing some tricep extensions as he reaches into the mouth.
Wow, this ice cream is much colder than we've seen in previous rounds. Now, we're seeing both of them really struggle to get the ice cream out of the pint. Mike is struggling with the brain freeze here. And Tim, this is the highest time that we've seen from him. So maybe we haven't seen the difficulty of this competition so far. This is a surprising performance, and now we're hitting the 1 minute mark.
Yeah, it's very surprising. I do think that this new rule has really helped make some more consistent ice cream added to the challenge part of the ice cream challenge.
Oh man, Tim is having more struggles than we've seen throughout this competition so far. Through the first couple of rounds, he was able to down that ice cream better than we've seen from almost any other competitor. He had the championship trophy. Mike looks like he's getting down to that edge of the ice cream, but he is struggling through the paint right now. This is the most pain we've seen in the past couple of rounds. Both of these competitors really not getting a foot on the other. Tim is almost done with that. Oh, he's really digging it. Maybe he isn't.
I'm still frozen.
Yeah, it's a crazy competition here. We got two real big competitors. They're really going for it. They know that what's on the line here, the pride of going to the Fudge Core 4. Who can actually do it?
I am surprised that we're hitting the 2-minute mark because last round we almost didn't see anybody over the minute and a half mark.
And we got time.
Wow.
Mike Wagner, 2:06, coming in and knocking off the favorite, Tim Busman.
Completely frozen.
Oh, man. Timmy, how long did you leave that out for?
Obviously not long enough. I was literally digging as hard as I could.
Oh, man. And Mike, that's a big upset for you. How do you feel after that performance?
You know, it was flow going for both Tim and I. Obviously, I expected, much quicker times from both of us. But yeah, I think, the different rules for the thawing definitely changed things up. Mine was really frozen, especially once it got to the bottom. So just had to fight through that brain freeze, man.
Now, that brain freeze, I think that's been a factor in this competition through and through. What does it take to fight through a brain freeze of that stature?
Man, yeah, it's going to be tough next week. I'll tell you that much. You just have to have, that mental fortitude to kind of push through. And, I'm going to try to bring it up another notch next week is what I'm going to have to do.
Now, Mike, you're moving on to the Fudge Core 4. Matt, these were two terrific competitors throughout this competition so far, but we're seeing Tim Busman go home. Not quite sure if many people expected that today.
No, I to be honest, no offense to you, Mike, you're a great competitor, but I expected Tim to take this one home, and it is a little bit surprising. I think he must have erred on the side of caution when it came to the ice cream. We did leave it up to competitors how long they wanted to thaw, as long as they could pass the DQ Blizzard test. So definitely, I think some competitors may have even done a trial thawing midweek to see exactly where that threshold is, and maybe that's something that Tim didn't do in preparation.
Now, Tim, what do you have to say about this? How long were you thawing that ice cream for?
It was probably like 5 to 10 minutes. Clearly not long enough because I was digging in pretty hard. But yeah, pretty unexpected there from a performance standpoint, but props to Mike for working through that. I think we were both working pretty hard there.
Yeah, thanks, man. That was a tough one.
Mike, Tim, we want to thank you guys for joining us. Tim, it's been a pleasure to cover throughout the time of this competition. We're sad to see you going home this early, but Mike, we're excited to see what you can do in the Fudge Core 4. Thanks so much for joining us, guys.
Awesome. See you guys next week.
You guys.
All right. See you. Best of luck to you next week, Mike.
Thanks.
Now, Matt, I want to talk to you about these new rules. How do you think it's affecting competitors so far?
I definitely think it's playing a role here. It's affecting them. People aren't quite sure how long they don't want to be disqualified by having their ice cream spill out, and so they're erring on the side of caution. And what I think you're getting here is some more frozen ice cream. It's bringing back the challenge in the ice cream challenge, and it's something that I think the fans, the audience, our Boosters Club wanted to see.
Yeah, this is now a competition. It doesn't look like it's anybody's game. And really, the upsets are what makes it great. So that's what we're kind of going for here. Now, let's do a donation update after this. So let's take a look at it right here. And we're at $8,000. Now, we're trying to hit $8,500. That's our goal by the end of tonight. $8,500, you can Venmo at Dragon Daddy, or you could reach us on PayPal. And if you like what we're doing here at the 2020 Ice Cream Challenge, you can follow us on Instagram at Ice Cream Challenge 2020. Now, we are through 2 matches today so far. Let's talk a little bit about what what this ice cream challenge is and where the money is going. This is a 32 competitor challenge where competitors will compete 1v1 to see who can eat ice cream quicker than the other. It's a March Madness style bracket. And now we are in the Overweight 8. 2 competitors already are through to the Fudge Core 4. Matt, where is this money going? All to COVID relief, yeah?
Yeah, so there's a few different foundations we're going to pepper, the CDC's COVID relief, the Red Cross, and then also another relief fund that we have identified. There's also one that goes to making masks for people as well, as there has been a mask shortage. So we're going to make sure we get some different players out there for in terms of our donations. Make sure we spread the wealth and not get it just all to one. But again, all these donations are approved by my corporate sponsor and ones that we will be getting a match on.
So let's take a look at our brackets after this right now before we head into the third matchup today. And we're looking now over at Ken Rodriguez versus Grant Nelson. Grant Nelson over in the left-hand corner, in the first round, he set that tournament time. It was at 36 seconds. In the second round, Ken Rodriguez came back. He set the tournament time at half of that, 18 seconds. Can Grant pick up steam, or will Ken not thaw his ice cream enough, Matt?
I think this matchup is going to be a coin flip. It's really going to be interesting to see, how thawed these ice creams are. Ken might actually be a little late getting his ice cream out of the freezer, as he's hustling back from getting his dog, and so he might have a harder ice cream than Grant. And it's going to be a good competition. I know they're both fierce competitors. I know they both want to move on to the Fudge Core 4, and they both have a lot rolling on this. So definitely think it's going to be a great match, and whoever the winner is will be taking on Trevor Smith, who keeps on surprising, and I think has finally shed that title of underdog, and is out there going to be a force to be reckoned with here moving forward.
Certainly so. So it looks like we're ready to take a quick break right here, but you've been tuned into the 2020 Ice Cream Challenge streaming live here on YouTube. Stick around. A couple more rounds of the Overweight 8 coming up next. And we are back here at the Overweight 8. Yes, this is the 2020 Ice Cream Challenge. It's a March Madness style bracket where competitors will compete 1v1 to see who can eat a pint of ice cream quicker than the other. I'm Max Kelton here alongside Matt Lewis. And now, Matt, we're through 2 competitions today, but boy, do we have a couple terrific more matches on slate. Let's get into the third matchup today. Grant, the best looking guy in the tournament, Nelson, versus Ken K-Rod 3000 Rodriguez. This is an interesting one because both of them have previously set tournament record times, Matt.
Yeah, it's going to be a great matchup. It's, again, like I said, it's going to be coin flip. Like I've been saying, the cream is going to rise to the top, and we'll see who's going to take this one. But your guess is as good as mine. I'm not sure who's going to take this one. I know I play softball with Grant. That guy is one of the biggest competitors I've ever seen. And so I think, just like we use the Seabiscuit analogy, Grant could be my Seabiscuit. All he needs is to seize the horse in front of him, and he's going to take him down.
Well, we're going to bring each of them in right now. Here is Ken and Grant. I believe they are ready to rock and roll. Yes, Grant Nelson on the screen right here. Ken Rodriguez, we are in the house, connecting to audio and ready to rock and roll. Now, this is a premier matchup right here, guys. K-Rod, you set that record time, but Grant set it in the first round. This is the best competitor that you faced this tournament. How are you going to face up against Grant today?
Oh, I'm excited. I've had this date circled on my calendar for 2 weeks. Grant, best of luck to you, buddy.
Hey, best of luck to you. I'm we'll see how this goes. That was pretty impressive last round. So
thank you.
We'll see what happens here.
Now, how long have you guys been thawing out your ice cream? We've seen some complications with that through the first couple of matches today.
Actually, I just got back from the grocery store, so it hasn't been in the freezer. So we'll see.
I've been going outside and then in the fridge and then back in the freezer. I got a little drip.
Okay? We said little drip is okay.
It's on the fringe, but other than that,
yeah, we will go ahead and rock with that ice cream. It both passed the test. We said small drippage is okay in the rules memo. It's in the rules memo. Minimal drippage is okay.
16 ounces.
All right. Well, looks like we're ready. Do you guys have any last comments, any strategies that you want to highlight before we move forward here?
No, I'm just excited. Let's do it.
Okay. On the count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, eat.
The cream clock on screen, and we are off. These are 2 of the best competitors in this competition so far. Looks like Grant Nelson really able to dig into that ice cream, but Ken Rodriguez, not somebody to be underestimated. He is chugging. He is putting it down through that gullet. Here is Ken Rodriguez doing everything he can to finish earlier than Grant, but this one's going to come down to the finish line. Matt, so far, both of them over 30 seconds.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I do think that these new rules are going to create a little bit of slower times. It's to be expected. It's a great competition so far. Grant's really struggled through brain freeze right here, and we're at the 45-second mark, and it looks like Grant could be wrapping up. Ken Rodriguez, and we got time.
Grant took the win. Grant Nelson, what a finish. Unbelievable. Ken Rodriguez is knocked out of this competition. I could not have expected this one today. But Grant Nelson is moving on to the Fudge Core 4.
Man, I'll tell you what, it was one hell of a competition out there. How do you guys feel?
I got a brain freeze. I'm not going to lie. It hurt last time, and I was expecting it again today. But, pumped to go against Ken. And I feel bad he didn't have the time to thaw. And I don't, but he's a good competitor, and my, hats off to him.
And now, Ken, I did mention to the viewers that you were out getting a new dog. Tell us about your dog. What's going on with this here?
So we got a phone call this morning. A family couldn't take care of their dog, so we drove up to LA and we're fostering a dog. So that's what we're doing all day. But just wanted to thank you guys for hosting an amazing tournament. This has been so much fun. big shout out to all my friends, family, coworkers who've been tuning in every week. Thank you for the support, and I'm so happy that this money's going to a great cause. And Grant, I'll be cheering for you, buddy.
Thanks,
Take
man. Yeah, appreciate
Grant,
it.
any last words on your end? How do you feel? What are you thinking of going into the Fudge Core for? And any shout outs?
You know, Trevor Smith is a tough competitor, but I want to shout out my buddies who are watching and listening right now. Some of my family. I think I had some aunts and uncles on there, and gotta shout out the Pro Basins, Matt. You know,
Oh yeah, baby.
brought us together, baby. There we go.
Hell yeah.
Bring up that bracket right here. We have Grant Nelson facing off against Trevor Smith in the next round. Grant, how are you preparing to take on this competitor, somebody who's been an underdog this whole competition?
Yeah. You know, there's that dog. I love it. There we go. Good for you, fostering the dog. You know, I got to stick to the rules. I'm gonna try to get a good thaw in, but within the rules, and you know, just try to power through like I'm trying to do each round. But Trevor's gonna be a tough competitor, so you know, former colleagues and current friends. So we'll see what happens. Should be a good one.
Well, we're excited to see it. K-Rod, we thank you so much for being a part of this competition, and we've been excited to see just the feats that you have reached. 18 seconds in a pint. I don't know if anybody's going to beat it throughout this competition, but thank you so much for being a part of it, and hoping to see you next year.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Matt, that was a surprising one to say the least. Grant was a fierce competitor in the first round. K-Rod, a fierce competitor in the second round, but couldn't quite get it done today. Grant moves on to the Fudge Court 4.
Yeah, it was a great competition. Definitely seeing some more brain freezes this round. You know, Ken, hats off to Ken for fostering your dog, him and his girlfriend. So, you know, that's just amazing that he's going out there, making sure the animals are, you know, living a great life. And that fact that he's doing this with us as well for COVID-19 relief, it just shows what kind of a guy he is and what kind of strong character and moral fiber he has.
And I think we're going to take a quick break right here before we get into our final matchup of the day. Matt Lewis taking on Jacob Gray. It's our matinee matchup coming up after this. And we are back here with the 2020 Ice Cream Challenge. Thank you for tuning into this live stream here on YouTube. Now, this is a 32 competitor bracket, a March Madness style challenge where competitors will face off 1v1 to see who can eat a pint of ice cream quicker than the other. And it's our final matchup of the day. Our commentator here in the booth, Matt Lewis, is now going out of the booth. He will be eating. He will be competing today against Jacob Gray, childhood friends. These two have known each other since they were 4 years old. Now, this is, I think, the biggest matchup that we're going to see in this entire competition so far, at least up until this point. So our cream clock is ready, and we're going to get ready to bring in both of our two competitors today. So here is Jacob Gray entering the call. He's audio. And there's Jacob. Jacob, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. So good to see you all again.
Oh boy, is it a blast. Now you're in the Kings jersey today, taking on your childhood friend in Matt Lewis. And he has been such a fierce competitor in this competition. Now, Matt Lewis has incredible support. 82% of people expect him to move on to the next round. What do you have to say about that?
Are you talking to me, Tim?
82%. 82% are picking him in favor. What do you?
82% are picking Matt Lewis. Well, you know, he created the event, so I imagine there's some garnership there from the gentleman that created it. But, you know, I'm not going to get down on that. I think the cause is obviously the driving point. And the secondary driving point is I'm going to whoop his ass today.
Now, the rules have changed. How long have you kept your ice cream frozen for?
I took it out about 5 minutes ago. You know, even wondering what the heck. So about 5 minutes ago, I think.
It looks like you're good to go.
We're good.
And
I think I'm about to cry
Lewis as well.
But you know, hey, if there's one thing,
change. Wow.
If there's one thing I can say, you know, I'd like to, you know, step back a quick second and say that one Overweight 8 match is on the line. 85 potential $100 donated to COVID-19 relief is on the line. And Matt Lewis is already precious reputation is on the line.
All righty. Well, Matt, your reputation on the line right there. As Jacob said, that was a quick change of clothes. Now you're ready to eat some ice cream. How long has that ice cream been thawing for you?
Well, I've been doing a broadcast here, and it was tough for me to run up and get it out in time. And so it hasn't been long. It's been about 5 minutes or so. I took it out, did a quick change, turn on my video here. So I didn't want to get ice cream on my nice Calvin Klein suit, my sponsor, Calvin Klein. You know, I think I'm ready for it though. It's feeling pretty good. Here's my test. It would be quite, I'll tell you what, it'd be quite embarrassing if the commissioner himself didn't follow the rules and I lost my ice cream there. So, you know, the Dragon Daddy's here to breathe some fire, and he's here to eat some ice cream. And Jacob, you're freaking going down, brother. Don't think
you know, Matt, when I
just
flip the
because you grew up,
it's like a light.
You grew up
like a light.
a few years younger. No,
It's like a light switch.
hey, you're going down, Daddy.
I'm gonna make you my son today.
Hey, guess
You're
what?
gonna call
I'm
me
not doing
Puppy.
my chores. I'm going to the
Papa.
skate park. I'm
Rest
going
of the
to go
day.
smoke a cigarette.
All of 2020. Get ready.
All right.
Well, our cream clock is ready. Everybody is, the tensions are high, and we are ready to roll. We're going to count it down with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Matt Lewis taking on Jacob Gray. Now, this is a childhood friendship being torn apart by frozen film. We are at 10 seconds on the cream clock, and this ice cream is not very well thought for either contestant. It's definitely going to slow down some time. Matt Lewis doing all he can to gulp down that ice cream, but
You got it, baby. You got it. Keep going.
both a mouthful, no question. We are reaching the 30-minute second mark. Yes, the 30-second mark.
There you go, baby.
Push, God damn it.
Jacob Gray, another guzzle. Here is
You're
Matt
cheating.
Lewis doing all he can to get down to the bottom of that
Close,
pint.
baby.
Jacob Gray, very
Push.
close.
Push, baby. Push,
Matt
baby.
Lewis has his
Go.
Go.
pushing for the win right here.
Come on, baby.
Push,
This
Jacob.
matters most, folks.
Slow it down
This
and you're
is
not.
down
Go,
to the wire. Here is Jacob Gray looking to finish.
Come on, girl. You got it.
With the big scoop.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
And got the finish. Oh my goodness, we have a tie.
Let's go.
I don't
Has he swallowed? Has he swallowed?
Open mouths. Open mouths.
Somebody watching this.
Open your mouth. Is it swallowed? He's still chewing.
Jacob, we're gonna need you to open your mouth. You have anything else in
Jacob,
there?
open your mouth.
Oh, I'm gonna send this one over to the board of directors. That's gonna be good for the head of the board of directors. I don't know what to do in this situation. Now, you know what? We might have to go back to the tape on this.
I don't know. It's just,
Listen,
Jacob
folks, we're gonna go to a
Gray,
quick
all
commercial
the way.
break
Hey,
here.
you know what? When I came in
Around,
today,
we will
I
be
knew
right
that I
back
would make
with
Matt my
today's
son.
final
And I
finish
think
of
as
who
of
will make
now,
it to
he's
the
becoming
fudge
his father
core.
in order to move on.
They're reviewing the play.
What? Did I not eat it all?
They're reviewing
no,
the play.
we
You
held
guys
up at the
finished
same
it
time,
almost
bro.
at the same time. You were really close.
What the fuck is going on?
Jacob, come right here.
I made it my son today.
Jacob.
Watch the tape.
Yes. So in the rule book, if there's a tie, we go to auction.
You do what?
You go to auction.
What's
Whoever-
that mean?
It means whoever donates more gets to move on.
Whoa.
I'll start at $20.
That?
That's what I'm talking about. Let's fucking go.
Jacob.
Come on. Come on.
Jacob, come here. You have to be on the screen.
In the rule of a tie, in the event of a tie, we go to auction.
Run the tape. Run the tape back.
The tape might show that Jacob Gray took that by half a second.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. That's fucking right. I'm on you. I'm my fucking son. How does it feel to be the son of Jacob Gray? That feels good. You're welcome. Thank you, Matt. Gosh, all for COVID-19 relief. I'm just so excited right now. I'm beyond myself.
Now, Jacob.
Great job, Lewis.
Jacob, that being said, you finished quicker. You had your ice cream done sooner, but Matt ate it quicker.
Yeah, I swallowed it.
Our judges are ruling that a tie.
What? He swallowed it too. He just walked
Excuse
away.
me?
That's not fair.
Our judges, Jacob, it's not me. Our judges are ruling it a tie, which means this goes to auction, and I'm going to leave it to either of you to start out the bidding.
Wait. We need to run back this tape. And
We ran back the tape. This the judges have spoken. I'm not part of
You're
it.
the judge.
No, I am not the judge. Other people are doing it here.
Lewis, I think you need to accept defeat.
We're
We're pulling it up right here.
will be broken in the following order. Funds raised, so this will move over to an auction. However many funds you can raise, that will be the winner of this competition. What a way to finish this one off.
I'm sorry, what was that?
This moves to an auction. We're tied.
I'll put down $20 to move on.
$20 is our first bid. Jacob?
I'm sorry. What? Say it one more time.
It's going to auction. You have to bid to move on. Whoever
It's going to
donates the most.
auction?
Yes.
I don't know what that means. That's not where they sell things?
Yeah.
We're going to walk back this play right here.
Oh, live viewer,
You know what?
live viewer vote.
Okay.
And we're gonna
Honestly, I beat
Ice
Matt.
cream in his bowl. That is BS.
He had ice cream in his bowl when I
Jacob
finished.
got up and yelled. His mouth
This
was
is how.
literally
This is what we're gonna do.
Okay.
This
Hey,
is what
I
I'm
concede
doing.
defeat.
Matt,
Listen.
and say
Listen.
your defeat. Say
I
you're my
concede
son.
defeat. I
Say
concede.
you're my son.
I just
I'm
said I
tired of
concede
it.
defeat.
Matt, say you're my son.
I'll never do
I'm
that,
tired
but I
of it.
concede
You need to
defeat.
admit your defeat and say you're my son.
I
Say
concede
it right
defeat.
now. Say it on live air.
I concede defeat.
Jacob,
There
stop.
you go.
Let me check the tape. Let me check the tape.
Multiple people messaging in.
I just said I concede to defeat. You win.
It looks like we have our Fudge Core 4. Jacob.
No, I want you to say that you're my son.
I will not do that.
Controversial.
I want it. Come on.
You're my daddy, Jacob.
Bring
You're
it
my
back
daddy.
up. What's that?
I already said it. I
Say
said
it
it
one more
once.
time.
Nah.
What? Say it one more time, man. I can't hear you.
You're my daddy.
Let the Lord shine his light and all his mercies, baby. Come on. Hey, great playing with you, buddy.
Great play with you, man.
We're excited.
Hey, honestly, Matt, I love you. I love you. You know that.
Great victory, brother. How
I
do you
love
feel
you.
moving
You
on
know
to the
that.
Fudge Core
We
4?
are- We are so hyper competitive, and the way this competition is elevated in that capacity, of course we're gonna get heightened. Things are gonna get heightened. So I appreciate you. I love you, and I'm so happy you submitted as you rightfully should.
You got it a half second faster than me. The tape doesn't lie. Congratulations on your win.
Jacob, congratulations on the win right there. What does it feel to beat extra effort? How sweet is it?
The Lord says, "I'm gonna go to church." That honestly is what I expected. So I think the confusion on the whole deal, the confusion on the timing was a little frustrating. I can imagine as you witnessed, but I thought overall it was a lot of fun, man. And at the end of the day, we're raising money for a great cause. It's all about. So, but in the background, of course, I want to whoop Matt's butt. And I came into this anticipating I was going to do that. And so I think that things flowed the way they were supposed to here today.
Congratulations and good luck in the Fudge Core 4.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to see what you can do next week.
Thank you so much, Max. Appreciate you, bud. Thanks,
Okay.
Lewis.
Yep. Have a good one.
Matt Lewis, that was a defeat right there. What can you say about the performance from Jacob Gray?
It was a great performance. It's definitely something where he came out there and he put the pedal to the metal. He got me by a half second. It was a close call. I think that he did get the ice cream down faster than me. So I'm happy to see him moving on to the Fudge Core 4 and happy to really see the next slate of competition. I think it's going to be a great day.
What compelled you to give him the win right there?
Well, I saw it. He put it up a half second before me. It was tough to see whether he had swallowed it before me due to the fact that he walked away. But I'm gonna have to go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt and trust that he swallowed it all. There's no sour grapes here. I'm excited to be able to join you in the broadcast booth the rest of the way here.
And I'm looking forward to it as well. Let's take a look at these updated brackets after today's competition. Now, Jacob Gray moving on. He will face up against Mike Wagner. Mike and Tim Busman, they struggled a little bit with their thawing periods. That Mike Wagner time could be greatly improved in the next matchup. Yeah. Jacob Gray, a big win over yours truly right here. But we're excited to see what you can do here in the broadcast booth for the rest of the time. Who do you take in this Fudge Core 4 matchup?
I got to go with Jacob Gray in this one. I've seen him compete. I've gone up against him. Mike Wagner's had some of the slowing winning times to date. And so I think you got to go with the Cardinal Gray, Jacob Gray here.
Mike Wagner's that Cinderella story. We'll see if he can repeat next week, next Saturday. We're going to move over to the other half of our bracket here. Now, this is Grant Nelson versus Trevor Smith. Two great competitors. Trevor Smith, he was an underdog in this competition. Not quite the case thus far, or really anymore.
Yeah, I think he's gone out there and he proved it. He's had two sub 40 second times. This one being, here in the overweight 8. I think he had the fastest time in the overweight 8 with the new thawing regulations, and you got to tip your cap. I think right now he's the guy to beat. He's at the top of the mountain. He's king of the castle, king of the castle, king of the castle. It's pretty amazing what he's been able to do.
Wow, I think that was my next question right there. Now that you're out of this competition, Ken Rodriguez also out of this competition, who posted that 18-second tournament record time. Who is the competitor to beat at this point? Do you think Trevor Smith is that guy?
I think it is. He had the 22-second time last week. He had the 34-second time this week. He's been consistently putting up these numbers week in, week out, and it's too hard to ignore. I think he's the guy that has a target on his back at this point, and the one that everybody's gonna go out there and say, "This is the guy I got to beat." I'd recommend Grant going reviewing the tape of Trevor, see if you can find any strategic tips, because he's doing something right.
Well, the overweight 8 is now over. We're getting ready for the Fudge Core 4. We're here to say goodbye to Lucas Baker, K-Rod 3000, Matt Lewis, and as always, everybody else on this team that wasn't able to make it through, but grateful to be part of this 2020 Ice Cream Challenge. Now let's get a slide up here for the donations so far. What are we looking like? Now our goal at 8,500 at the end of this broadcast. So far we hit $8,000, all donations and all proceeds going to COVID-19 relief here. So yes, we have achieved our goal at $8,500. That being said, please feel free to Venmo at Dragon Daddy and hit PayPal as well. If you like what we're doing here with the 2020 Ice Cream Challenge, you can follow us on Instagram as well at Ice Cream Challenge 2020. Matt Lewis, anything else to add?
First of all, I just want to thank each and every person that has put time, effort, money, donations in. We're so grateful for the viewers, the audience, and everybody that's been contributing. It wouldn't be a competition, it wouldn't be the Ice Cream Challenge 2020, it wouldn't be a success without all of you. If you want to post anything on social media, try and hashtag some good news or SGN. We're trying our best to try and get on John Krasinski's Some Good News station. I think it would be great publicity, and we see the donations rolling in. So if you have any posts you're waiting to post, throw that hashtag on there. Let's blow it up. Let's get it trending.
And I think that's all we got for you. We have the Fudge Core 4 next weekend, 3 p.m. on Saturday.
Yeah, 3 p.m. Saturday. It will be 2 pints. So we're up in the ante for the Fudge Core 4. Competitors will be going against each other with 2 pints of ice cream. So it's going to be a wild one. It's going to be a fun ride, and there's going to be some brain freezes.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Stick around and we'll see you next week. Thanks so much for tuning in to the 2020 Ice Cream Challenge. Max Kelton here alongside Matt Lewis.